Hello, everybody. We are meeting right now for a discussion about a very interesting topic. I was very thrilled when Jean-Yves asked me to moderate this discussion. It's about hospitality and what hospitality industries can teach co-working and how can co-working become a part of the family. I love that. This is not me, isn't me? Okay. It's a great question and a great discussion, because actually when someone comes to our team, I always love when they say they have some hospitality experience. I think it's very helpful, but at the same time it's quite complicated. It's not so easy. So the experience from the hospitality market is not very much applicable, like 100% to our co-working life. So the first question, and maybe Patrick will answer, because I remember he has some very interesting insights, is what does hospitality actually really mean, and what are the differences between...
Sorry, can I interrupt you?
Sure.
We didn't present ourselves. Do you want maybe us to present?
Of course, you are very right. Sorry, my fault. So you have please, I thought that maybe when you were answering the question you will introduce yourself, but okay, we can do it like this. So we can start with introducing yourself. Please tell us a few words about you.
Okay, I'm Kristalina, short one Krisi. I'm local from Sofia. General manager of Untracked 127, that's the co-working space I'm operating in the center of Sofia. We have like 250 desks, all in total 2,000 square meters, and I'm in this industry for 2 years. Before that I have a background like almost 15 years in tourism and hospitality in Greece and Bulgaria. And I'm really happy to be second year in a row in the Coworking Europe. It's a great thing. It's another universe, I may say. Thank you for inviting me on this panel.
Hi everyone, I am Elena. I'm the head of experience for Uncommon. We are a co-working flexible office spaces in London. We have 5 sites and around 4,000 members. And like Chrissy, I worked in hotels for around 15 years. Always London experience, but I worked for some of the largest operators like Hilton and ISG. So I hope we can give you some good insights today.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I changed from hotels to co-working 15 years ago when I ran out of good ideas in hotels. And I thought no one had done fun offices. So I founded and run a company called Helio in Stockholm. We have 10 spaces in different parts of Stockholm.
And I am Maria Piovano, Global Operations Manager at the Social Hub.
Some journeys.
I am in the business in the co-working business since I would say more than 10 years now. But I'm quite new. In the last 5 years, I've joined TSH, so I've entered this hybrid hospitality business. And I have another nice video for you. I don't know if you joined the other panel. I have a nice video for you to show who is TSH.
Some journeys start with a search for a sock. Others open doors to the world and reveal 1,000 new faces. Journeys bring us closer together. Every meeting means something, and unexpected twists are just waiting to happen. You'll find life tastes sweeter when it's shared. Be bold enough to knock. The best journeys happen to the curious, who open doors. See things from new perspectives. So come on in, play, collaborate, and connect along the way. Breathe and dive right in. Whatever your journey, it starts here.
So 18 locations around Europe, 3 to come in the next months, I would say. Over 10,000 rooms and around 12,000 meters square of co-working spaces. And Thank you for inviting me.
The Student Hotel started 10 years ago with a simple belief. Students deserve better.
Okay, now when we know who you are, and for sure Jean-Yves picked you because of your extremely interesting experience with hospitality world. So let's start with the first question, which is, what do you think hospitality really means, and what are the differences actually between hospitality and co-working businesses? And maybe Patrick, I can start with you. You are the only guy, so.
Okay, I can try to start. For me, it's all about people, and a setup that makes people want to come to your space, regardless if it's a restaurant or a co-working space or a hotel. And people creating a guest experience that is more than a physical location. That is hospitality for me.
Okay, and what kind of differences you see between hospitality market and co-working, as you see like here?
I think from start it's a different perspective, because especially when we started out in offices, we kind of do desks. We still talk about desks, and we talk about square footage or square meters. I think in hospitality you always talk about people and guests. That's the major difference, I would say. It's getting there, but it's slowly getting there.
Interesting. How about you, Elena? What do you think about what hospitality and what are the differences?
Hospitality is really being hospitable, whether you do it at home, whether you do it in a hotel, in any kind of business, right? You could walk into hospital and be hospitable by doing greeting and looking after people. So it's just understanding what someone needs at any point and just giving it to them. The key difference for me between co-working and hotels is that in hotels you sleep over. In co-working you spend there the whole day. But at the end of the day, the concept should be the same. People should be the main conversation. And just to echo exactly what you said, the first thing you do when you look for a hotel is what are the reviews saying? How are they looking after people, right? When you're looking for a co-working, people are thinking of what's the price per desk, how much am I going to pay? You're not thinking of, okay, how do they treat their people? Are they going to look after my members? So I think there is a need for a bit of a change in mentality there.
And the more differences, Christy?
Well, we do have a client who has a sleepover in his office. Yeah, it's a startup in Germany. We support them, of course. So hospitality with the direct translation, I was looking for it in our language. So it's exactly being hospitable. No matter if you're in a hospital or you're wherever, you need to be really, to feel warm, welcome, and to feel ready to help people in front of you. The hospitality industry itself has a few things inside: bars, restaurants, clubbing, travel, tourism industry, so meetings and events. We do have that in common in the co-workings, because we do have the meetings and events, we have the sleepover, sometimes co-livings, they do provide this as well. What's the difference? I totally agree with Elena. It's this mindset that we need to change a little bit more. Not only looking the client like looking for a desk, or the client thinking, oh, I just pay for a desk. We don't look at the client just for a person paying, but we do in our company, we do look at the client like a human being. What do they want? How we should treat them. And on the other hand, they should think about this. I am coming here for the atmosphere, for how I feel. I feel welcomed, and I do want to pay for this atmosphere. Like I've been taught in Greece when I started my trip in hospitality industry, you need to be kind and to make them feel warm.
Maria, when we saw your movie, this is a blended blended concept. That's why I left you for the last. What do you think about it?
Yeah, so for me, hospitality is caring. is really caring for the people. We started with caring for students because we found it. I mean, we started our journey in Amsterdam City with a student housing only, and then we grow and we enlarge, and we started to host extended stay parents of the students, and then we have launched also our co-working business. So we started caring about students, but then we are now trying really to care for everyone. So our mission of creating an impact and creating a better society together with our guests is really something that we really care about. So social is not only at the heart of our name, but is really our philosophy, I think. And to add, because it's also a good question, and it was hard for us to explain to our team members, so how you can be hospital and what hospitality means. So we try to build a model. You have to imagine a pyramid. At the bottom, we have the baselines and what we call the baseline and brilliant basics. That stands for our operational excellence, so the ordinary. Then we have, on top of that, what we call the hospitality TSH unique. So the thing that make our experience special, so our signature. And on top of everything, there is our mission. So it really try to involve it in all the hospitality aspects.
Perfect. So the next question is quite obvious, especially to you. What do you think this hospitality experience, how does it help in running coworkings? How did it help you? What did you bring to the table from the hospitality business, and how does it help? How can it help people who actually come through this world? What do you think, Elena? Maybe.
So I think just linking to our previous point, we're brain wired to see what our customers are saying about us, our guests, let's say, is the first thing you discuss in the morning, the first thing that you walk in a hotel as an operator and you say, was our TripAdvisor ranking, what were the scores yesterday on customer satisfaction? Because that's what we're there to do, and we know that's going to drive the revenue and that's going to increase our occupancy. So that mentality is what's important. It's not just about the facilities that you have in your co-working. If you start thinking that happy customers are going to buy more, are going to renew with you, that's where we really need to shift and start talking more about NPS scores, measuring satisfaction, and listening to those, to the feedback and actually reacting to it. I think that's one of the key things that I brought. In hotels also, when we do an audit, we have something, it's a promise basically. In 15 minutes, you need to reply to any inquiry the guest has. Whether you're asking for shampoo, whether you're asking for sleepers, or whether for a wake-up call, whatever it is, you have 15 minutes to action it. Again, that's something that I brought into here, our service level agreements. How long do we take to reply to an email? If someone needs an additional socket in their office, how long is it going to take us to complete it? How are we going to answer to them? How fast, etc. So implementing all of those things, it will increase their satisfaction. Just create certain standards in your companies, in your co-working spaces, so the members know that you're going to be there for them, how quickly you're going to react to things. So I think that's one of the keys.
Extremely interesting. How about you, Maria? How your experience helped with Social Hub?
So I think that we can learn, the co-working business can learn from the hospitality on several aspects, for sure. Mainly, the service, how hotel business are perceiving the service, the customized service level. We can also learn from an operational point of view, as Elena said, so the standards that we have. I mean, when I joined a co-working business, there was no standard at all, or we were kind of freestyling everything, but we need standards. The team needs clear instructions, clear guidelines, frameworks, because it really helped them to run their daily operations. But I'm also challenging here what we can learn, what hospitality can learn from co-working, because that's also super, I think, relevant. I think that the membership feeling is something that can be helpful, the community building, and also to connect to your previous question. So what are the differences? For me, is really a relational difference. Because with hotel guests, you need to be performant in 24 hours. So all your attention needs to be consistent in 24 hours. But with co-workers, we build a relationship. It's a long-term relationship. You live with them daily. So, and this has pros and cons. It also came out in our alignment call. So how it's hard to speak about prices when you have a relationship with them. So I think that both business can learn a lot from each other.
Perfect. Patrick, what do you think? Do you think that good experience in hospitality helping, or can be sometimes a problem with the co-workings? What do you think?
I think for me it always starts out with the workplace itself, because if we create, you said community, if we create within hospitality, with hospitality, a great workplace, that is the offering we have that sets us aside from traditional offices. And I think, as we saw earlier today, we are a really small portion of our workplace today. And in order to attract, we need to focus both on standards, of course, but also on training, I think, because in traditional offices, if you walk into one, you seldom see someone. If you see one, that's kind of, you see a sign, so coming soon. And for me, it's easy to beat, but for co-working, it's so important to be something else. And that is to train our people in understanding how to curate a community, and what is needed to be able to have a person coming to you for 2 years in a row, 10 hours a day. What kind of service to that person, what kind of hospitality does he or she need? And that's the key issue for co-working or offices in the future as well.
So I can hear SLA, I can see NPS, thinking about client. And Christy, anything more? Would you like to add something that hospitality actually help in co-workings?
Hospitality helps in co-workings a lot. I think that whoever has been through hospitality in the hotels has been through anything. And having, the guest there, and you having those 10, 15 minutes that you need to immediately answer, it's like a TikTok machine, because there are a lot of departments. You need to call to the person there to ask when this can happen, so you immediately go back with an answer. As Elena said. On the other hand, as Patrick and Maria, I do agree that we make a relationship with the people that we meet every day. Sometimes they will forgive us for being a little bit late, or we will together make something like in the previous panel they said, one colleague from Bulgaria, she said, I really like seeing them in a community. They both fight together to fix the printer. So the community manager doesn't need to be there at this moment. He can fix the coffee machine. So you make them feel hospitable by themselves and caring for each other. And for me, it's very important to treat the guests. We meet guests in the hotel, but we say bye to a friend. We meet a client in the co-working, but we do have a friend as well in the daily life.
Something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, when you mentioned whether it could be problematic to bring hospitality experience in co-working, yes, it can. So I just heard horror stories from my team. One of my predecessors used the word uniform. He wanted to implement uniforms for my team, and they all freaked out. So yes, it could be sometimes problematic, especially when you come in with zero knowledge about co-working, like I did, like zero. The only word I knew was WeWork. Sorry, apologies. I won't say that ever again. but it is the reality. So yeah, I came in also very strong, like, oh, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Until the guys taught me the trade, and I calm down a bit, and I just try to, now I'm a bit more calm, and I analyze things before you just jump into implementing. So yeah, it could be problematic also coming from a very strong hotel background.
Very interesting. I hear a lot of words about actually your employees, someone who takes care of your coworkers. So their life is quite difficult, as you said. Everything is going wrong sometimes. They have to take care of many stuff. And again, managing this hospitality vibe and be nice, energetic, optimistic, always happy, always welcoming, it's impossible. So somehow we have to support them. Maria was talking about some kind of instructions, some kind of guidelines. What else can we do to keep them energetic, to keep them actually effective in the work? From your experience, what can we do to support this hospitality vibe in your teams? What are your experience?
Most of all, we can just support them. I mean, we are all human beings. The frontline people, well, let's say the office manager, community manager, it depends on the structure of the co-working itself as a business model. We need to support them. We need to know that they're people as well. And we need to have those nice, not really visible, but being there borders, so the client knows that there is a border. We can be friendly, but not really cross into the personal, not fight and shout and allow these things that sometimes we can face at the reception of a hotel. And all the lobby hears someone, begging or shouting for sleepers. We need to give them really the time to listen to their problems, to frontline people who are facing the customers every day, our guests. And also we need to provide all the needed stuff and tools, no matter applications or just community events, anything that can help for a better communication. So the communication goes to relation, the co-working becomes workation, so they come visit the country for vacation, but they have a place to work. I think this is it. We need to support ourselves and the frontline people a lot.
How do you see it, Elena? I can see that you want to say something.
Yeah, no, just to echo also, I think the basic would be just to give the right tools to the team so the frustrations are very, very low, as they tend to be the punchback, right? The moment there is an issue, they are going to be the first responders, right? So that can be very, very stressful when especially if you're in a challenging environment and you have that on a daily basis. So as a company, one of the things we do, we have a well-being fund. So we provide our team with a fund, basically, which I made use to last weekend. I went to a spa break just to have a disconnect, relax, forget about all the problems. So we do that for all our team members. Second thing, training is key, how to handle difficult situations. And also a couple of months ago, we've done a psychological safety training for everyone, so they're comfortable to go and talk to people within their teams, to their managers of their issues, and just simply having someone to vent, because that happens many times. You need to keep your smile on every time you deal with an issue. You need to take it out with someone, and you need to feel safe to do that. And as managers or leaders, we just need to be empathetic with them and understand that they're trying to handle the situation the best they can, but also they need to take it out. So just be empathetic with them, support them, take some of the complaints out of their hands. Sometimes for me, it just takes to ask them, do you want me to reply? And I'm like, no, thank you. But that just automatically makes them feel good, and that's all they need. But definitely look after your front desk, frontline team.
Perfect. Patrick?
I would say people that feels important will make a good hospitality agent or a good person making hospitality. So if you can make them feel important, then that's the most important part. And I think you do that through training, through fun activities, and also through good management. But fun is also a really important part of it, I think. Doing hospitality, if you have fun and you have fun colleagues and you have fun members as well, that will keep the spirit up. Yeah. And for me, the most important part, coming from also another part of hospitality, is recruitment. Because sometimes when you recruit people to a hospitality work, you kind of recruit the ones who is best answering questions. But for me, coming into co-working, it's much more about proactivity and be able to interact without the question. And that, I would say, one of the difference in hospitality, because most of our members in Helio, they don't need help during the day. They know the place better than our employees. So they need interaction when needed. And that is something which is different from being reactive at the front desk of a hotel, for example. So I think just in order to do the right recruitment sets the ground.
Perfect.
Yeah, in TSH we do pretty much the same. So we try to care about the hard skills part. So as operations manager, I think that I spent last year really mapping all the processes and procedures that we have in place, because my focus for next year is really optimizing these processes. And I discovered so much manual work that it's totally insane. So if we remove this manual work from them and we give them the right tools, for sure we improve and make their life easier and better. So that's for sure my focus. And yeah, I invite all the operations managers to do the same. Then clear instructions, clear procedure, but then, yeah, we also need, I think, a strong company culture that really value their well-being. So we also have launched a program with Open Up, that is a platform where we have psychologists, consultants, but also they have free access to webinars or e-books and so on. And I think regular one-to-ones to make them feel listened, for sure. And on top of that, we also think that the learning and development make them happy and give them really the perspective. So we have the talent recognition program. We give the opportunity to our team members to being sponsored by TSH for their educational program. It can be a master or can be just a certification, English or a language course they can choose. But the learning journey is also super important.
Thank you very much for this. So part of the reasons why the job of community managers or this first liners is managing expectations of our clients, for sure. So what do you think is this appropriate level of service, like from your experience? What are the must-dos in a co-working? What are nice-to-haves? How do you communicate it before someone become a client, so there are no lots of crises that have to be managed by those our friends Leiter's employees? What do you think? What is this acceptable level, or is it at all? Is it existing?
I can say something. Just
perfect.
I think that the funny thing is that all our nice to have has become must have. Okay. So now we really have just a few nice to have. But it's now an old must to have. You have to have community programming. You need to have events and a calendar. So it's the only thing that maybe is something that we should still need to develop is local partnerships. Mm-hmm. So really structure a network and a partnership with the local business.
Okay, Patrick.
For me, it's two things in order to get. One thing is the service design part, because if you build in a bad way, no community manager in the world will be able to create a great hospitality. So the fitting out of the building or how to enter the building or where to meet, it's super important. Mm-hmm. For example, for us, we do really few coffee stations, and people in Sweden drinks a lot of coffee, so they have to walk. Mm-hmm. And when they walk, they meet people and they meet us. So for us, that is kind of the service design part of the fitting out is super important. And the other part is setting the expectation for the member. Mm-hmm. So the onboarding part in recruitment is important when it comes to employees, but it's also equally important setting the ground rules for the member itself, because then you can live up to the expectations. Mm-hmm. So onboarding part for members, super otherwise no community manager in the world will be able to sort that out either.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think each co-working space or flexible workspace needs to set their standard. Mm-hmm. What is a must for them? What's for me is a greeting. Every single person that walks through the door needs to be greeted. Every single person leaving the building needs to be wished farewell, right? So each co-working space needs to set what's nice to have and what's the expectation. If someone walks in with a luggage, we're going to ask them for help, regardless of which of our sites you are. So you need to define what that could look like for you, and then just go with it. But just to echo, in terms of facilities and things that you offer, all the nice to haves are now expectations. We're just losing clients to another co-working space because they have a gym and we don't. So things are changing. Yes, community programs, well-being programs, it's becoming a must, and it's just a reality, I think.
Christy?
Well, a must-have and nice to have. A must-have is the will to be hospitable. A must-have is the most expensive service that you can give a client, but he cannot pay for. That's the smile. You must have a smile, no matter what's going on. Nice to have is any kind of utilities that you can allow, or the building allows, or the community needs. You have some questions from the clients that they want. Nice to have and must have, needs to have is events, a lot of events. Extra to have is wine afternoons, whiskey tastings, some kind of, other things that they know that you're there for them. I don't have from day one, I don't have a desk. I don't have where to work in the whole building. I work in the kitchen. So everyone knows that they can find me there. And I am must have, nice to have, extra to have, every time have, because I am there as well, like the front line, my office manager here. So it depends of the business of the size of the business. Here we talk for a huge co-workings. We have 250 members, and we're 3 ladies running the whole building. So it's a must-have strong nerves, and just be hospitable.
Perfect. So this will be my last question, and then I'm open to listen to your questions. And my last question is, this managing expectations in hotels, for example, was quite obvious based, for example, on a star rating system, yes? And can you imagine a star rating system in co-workings or any kind of similarity here? How could it work or not work, or what should it be based on? Stars have these similarities, and why you get 3 stars, 4 stars, whatever. And do you think it would be applicable or not, and why? Maybe, Elena, can you start?
Yeah, I think many hotels are just moving away from star ratings, or they just self-rate, or they are just lifestyle, whatever. They're stopping the star ratings. So I don't see why would we go into it now when hotels who started it are actually moving away from it. I think the efforts of the industry need to be on creative platforms where we can compare ourselves in terms of our NPS scores. So hotels have TripAdvisor, or your Booking.com reviews, or whatever it is, and that's where the customers go in the first instance, right, before you book a hotel. Then also, how I used to measure our performance, we have STR, where we submit our daily rates, our occupancy, and there is another platform for profitability. Then you can set your competitor set. It could be within your local area, 4 or 5 hotels, and it could be also a wider range of other places with similarities to you, aspirational. I think we should have something similar, so we know what's happening in the area, rather than having to come to a conference to find out what's happening in the industry. There should be a platform where we can say, okay, this is what's happening in my area, this is what other similar co-working places are doing, that's their profitability. If they're doing better than me, what am I doing wrong, right? Starts triggering the right questions. I think that's where the efforts should be.
Perfect. Patrick, what do you think about it?
No. I think it's a bad idea in star rating as a comparison. I think the review part is super important, that people review us and give us reviews, regardless if the version of reviews isn't important, but reviews is. So no star rating.
And what about the reviews? What should be based on? Because if you go to TripAdvisor, there are some features of the hotel, yes? What are, from your perspective, what would be the features of co-working that can be rated, like, by our users?
It's a good question. I think we are such an immature business, so it will take some time in order to set that up. And we are not so similar. Just on this stage, we have so much difference in between us. So for me, Google reviews is what we will have for quite some time, I think.
Maria, what do you think about it?
So it's a very controversial question. So I really miss the platform that just Elena mentioned. So it's years that I said, why we don't have something similar to the hotel? So anyone in the audience that wants to start up this idea, I don't know. But it's really something that we miss to compare to each other. And I also imagine at some point that this star rating system could help us in arriving in that kind of structure. So I see it some pro in the sense that we can measure a little bit more the standard that the service that we deliver. We have more elements to compare to each other. But on the con side, I see that maybe we fall into a too structured environment. We also do experience the same from Elena, so some hotels are moving away, but we also see that this happens. I mean, clients, the leisure clients, are not looking at the star review, but we also see that the corporate business is still super stuck into the star rating. So we need the stars because otherwise corporates do not choose us. So I still see a segment that is, so I see pro and cons, but if I would say yes, I would love to include in the star rating not only the service level or the luxury or less luxury, but I would also add some other elements like what is your engagement in social impact. So I would add some more topics related to the social engagement, social impact, environmental impact, and so on. And that would be great, I think.
Perfect. Christy?
I can definitely go for yes. And there are pros and cons, of course. Star rating, no, but I would love to have maybe not compared to the other people in the country, but just for me. For example, having the the scale of hospitality, utilities, service, was I served on time, do I need more corporate events or no, do I need more networking, in these kind of things, yes. For sure, not stars. And yeah, it would be great. So I think we are like one of the best here in this conference. Please start doing some up like this. And for sure, it will help. Yes, we still cannot change the mindset of the corporate people, and the corporations are growing, startups are growing. As Maria said, we need to focus on this, that corporate clients do still look at stars sometimes. So please, we do not want to be starred, but we want to be some kind of, organized. So we can have an application like this to help us see a scale, just a scale.
Okay, so we have a few more minutes. Any questions from you guys? I can go to you. Oh, there is someone.
Hello, thank you. So you highlighted the importance of the community events. I'm curious if you charge extra fees for these internal events, or if these fees are included in a membership. For example, maybe you invite a speaker and there are some extra costs. In that moment, how do you treat such an event?
Okay, Maria, maybe?
Yeah, so we have budget for events. Every location has certain amount of budget. Flagship location have more money, the others have less. So we ask them to organize, for example, 50 events per month. So they need a budget for that. So normally we organize all free events for our community members. Only very special ones they need to pay for it. That they are very exceptional.
Anyone? Elena?
Yeah, for us it's the same. It's part of our package, right? When you buy a membership into Uncommon, you buy your Friday breakfast, you buy your tea time, it's part of the package. We do fitness classes, members drink, so we do a bigger party, then we do the summer party, the Christmas party. It's all part of the package. Rarely ever we ask them to pay anything.
Anyone else?
I can just share a small secret, but it stays here. We are small, as I said, a small, very boutique co-working, and our headquarter client holds almost 75% of the building. So when we do want to make some specific events, firstly, we do it free for everyone, and sometimes we just ask the office manager of this headquarter client that they have their office with us, which date is suitable for them, because we know that they are the most people in the building. And we do the event on a date suitable for them and for us as well. Of course, having a poll around the other clients. And sometimes if they insist to have a specific event, which we're not sure if the other people would like, we share the cost. But we cover it. So it's just an internal trick. And on the other hand, yes, very, very rare situations. Sometimes someone to cover something like €10. If there is a speaker of a topic that everyone would want to go, we cover most of it, and just part of it, we make them pay, because the Bulgarian mentality is, if I have paid, I should go. I won't lose the money. So we guarantee ourselves,
work the same.
We guarantee ourselves people who will attend.
It opens a discussion about VIP maybe clients, and maybe sometimes it is in hospitalities that sometimes some clients are more important than the others, but let's not go there.
Not more important, but more like people.
Taken care of, yeah. Okay, anyone else? Any more questions?
Don't be shy. Hospitality is a great industry.
Exactly.
you need to be very open and put a lot of fun in your work.
I have a question.
Oh, this is a good example.
No, because I think you have a sound experience in hospitality, but now you also experience co-working. So which one you like most? Because you experience both.
It's like, Sofia's
That's a tricky
choice.
question.
Why, maybe, and why?
I miss my chefs because they feed me really well. So, yeah, I do miss hotels, but what I liked most of the hotel is that I was based in one place. I had my team there at my reach. Now I have 5 sites. The team is spread out, and I really miss to see them every day, to just be able to walk 10 meters and see them and see what's happening. So for me, that's the only tricky part.
Patrick, what about you?
For me, I'm trying to reach the level of love that I have for restaurants and bars and hotels with the co-working industry. I'm not there yet, but I'm moving towards that. So for me, it's still... I love the way we have kind of clients for 2 years. So you get to learn people. But otherwise, I'm still in love with hotels.
What about you, Maria? You started this. So what about you? What do you prefer?
I joined TSH, but TSH is quite special. So it's an hybrid hospitality model. I never experienced pure hotel business, but I feel very comfortable in TSH. I really love the energy and the vibes, but it's quite special, I think. So I don't know if I am a good fit, for example, or within a 5-star hotel or 4-star hotel with a very structured, responsibility, hierarchy, and so on. But hybrid hospitality, is the best.
Okay. Christy, what about you?
I do miss the food and beverage department. They were treating me very nice. Every time from the coffee break or lunch or something, whatever is, left over, they bring it in the office, and you always have some, presents from the events. I do not miss you must wear just specific colors of clothes, you must behave this way, you are not allowed to have any other kind of nail polish except this and this. I do love my job, and you do need to love what you do. Once in the hospitality, always in hospitality. It stays in your heart. So if we just go out of the hospitality as an industry, we bring to our new workspace the hospitality in our soul. So yeah, I do love the co-working, and I think having the team next to you is the best thing ever. And I'm very happy that I can have the team together every time, and we can share the moments together.
I hear a lot about food in your stories. You miss food? Okay, so any more questions from you guys? Thank you very much. Very inspiring, insightful. Thank you very much, and see you, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.